This is a Word with an International production with Gail Knox, covering the Book of John.
Palestine, which is where Israel, what that was called at that time, and Egypt were under the reign of Ptolemy in the south. And then Seleucus had the northern part and Syria and all around in there. Israel today was in between the two. The Ptolemy reign was located in Alexandria, Egypt. And so going from Egypt to Syria, back and forth, trade lines and this kind of thing, they all battled over Israel. And so there was a lot of fighting between the two of them, and eventually the king of the north, Seleucus, won out. And from that we have Antiochus III and Antiochus Epiphanes. Excuse me. It's not an epiphany, it's a, Okay, Epiphany, Antiochus Epiphany, all right, whose name means manifest God. He set himself up to be God. And of course that would have been very disturbing to the Jews. He was demented. He had a messianic complex. He was the Hitler of the 2nd century BC. He outlawed the Sabbath. He outlawed circumcision. He outlawed the Jewish scriptures. He ordered a sacrifice of a pig in the temple, which was a taboo animal. So he persecuted the Jewish people in the strongest way, and it was something that they could not bear. And so a family came up, a strong Jewish family came up called the Maccabees. You probably have heard that name. And the son of the original man who started it was Judas Maccabeus, and he went about restoring religious freedom. He reopened the temple, and the Jews entered into a period of self-rule for about 80 years. And so the Greek Empire is still ruling the world, but the Jews have autonomy during an 80-year period there. The Feast of the Hanukkah comes out of the time when Judas Maccabeus reopened the temple, and you're familiar with Hanukkah, I'm sure. At the same time that the Maccabees took over, Rome then comes into power. General Pompey, I'm sure you've heard that name, he conquers Palestine, and the Roman rule begins. And they appointed Herod the Great, who was he was half Jewish, but he was, by birth he was Jewish, but by heart he was Roman. And he persecuted the Jews, was exceptionally cruel to the Jews. And so when the curtain rises on the New Testament, the Jews are crying out for a deliverer. They need help. If you've read the Book of Judges, you know the cycle that goes through there. And that is apostasy, the church, the people fall away from God, and God raises up a deliverer to overcome them. They cry out, so God sends a deliverer. They raises up a foe to overcome them, and they cry out, and then God sends a deliverer, and then there's peace. Where we are in that cycle when we enter the New Testament is they've fallen away. We read that in Malachi. They've fallen completely away from God. God has raised up a few enemies to overcome them, including the Greek Empire and the Antiochus Epiphanes, and then the Roman Pompey, who then appointed Herod, a terrible Jew, to rule over their little independent territory. And so they now are crying out for a deliverer. If we turn with me to Galatians chapter 4, verses 4 and 5. Kind of sums it all up. Galatians chapter 4, verses 4 and 5. But when the fullness of the time came, God sent forth his Son, born of a woman, born under the law, in order that he might redeem those who were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. And the key phrase there is when the fullness of time came. When God's time came, then God sends forth the deliverer that they needed. 400 years they've been waiting, or they've been growing in that direction because things were getting worse and worse and worse. And so finally, their situation is such that they are ready to receive a Savior, a deliverer. The Roman Empire is ruling the world, and that empire had united all segments of the world there with a common language. They're now speaking Latin. There was a peace between all the peoples. So when you have peace, you can move from one country to another because you're not afraid of what's going to happen when you go into another nation. And they maintained this peace in the world by moving legions of soldiers in so that they had control. And in order to move those legions of soldiers, they needed these wonderfully wide, smooth roads that they could march down. So the Romans had built a network of roads over the entire world the entire known world at that time. So the time is right. The time is ready. The need is there. The people are crying out for help. The world conditions are such that once the news of the Messiah comes, it can get out into all the areas of the country. And there's where we walk now into the New Testament and the book of John, as he tells us a different story than the other three Gospels writers have told us. And now we're ready to start on chapter 1 and get into John, where it's a little bit easier to follow, and your participation is going to be much more of the lesson than mine. So, I encourage you, if you haven't done your homework for this week, that's understandable, not to worry about it, but look at lesson 2, which covers chapter 1, and do your best on that so that we can start getting a good foundation and have some discussions on some of these things. I assure you that you're going to find this book one of the most exciting ones you've ever delved into, and hopefully we'll learn a lot that will change so much of your way of looking at things. Let's close with a word of prayer. Father, we just thank you, Lord, for this time that you've set aside for us to come together to study your word. Lord, we just look forward to the next few weeks as we read in the book of John and hear directly from you. Open our hearts and our minds, Lord, that we might receive the full benefit of the teaching that you have for us. Help us to carve out that time, Lord, in our busy lives to put study first and then have the time left to do the other things we need to do. Lord, we just love you so much, and we want to be good students of the word so that we can obey the commands that Jesus has given us, so that he will know that we love him. So, Lord, we ask for your guidance. Let your Spirit fall upon us and be our teacher. In the name of your Son we pray. Amen and amen.